Welcome back. So we've just covered the business of social media. What I want to talk about now is growing your social media following and building a community. You know why this is so important? Because if people don't know who you are, they're not with you, they can't buy things from you. So what is one of the best ways to actually create a following in the first place? So I call this concept the MMM. What does it stand for? It's your message to your market match. You see, when you talk to people, you have to talk about what is your message. If I say to you right now, what is your social media? For me, it's about business wealth creation. How do you make more money? How do you grow a business? How do you grow a brand? So it has to have that message. So when you're talking about something, it wants to attract that person to you. That's why it has to match your market, right? So your message to your market has to match. Do you know what most people do? They post loads of random things. And you get what we call a message to market mismatch. You don't want that. You want a message to market match. And for me, when I'm building a following, it's all about providing a lot of value. So people say, well, John, what is value? Value is teaching someone something new that they've never heard of before. So they come to your page, oh, I've never seen that before. Oh, wow, I've never seen something say that way. Like, I've never heard of that before. So when you're providing value, you got to make sure that you are focusing on helping people. And actually, one of the easiest ways to do this is if you look at all the comments in all your competitors' sites and just look at what comments. And you might see some comments like, oh, well, how does that work? Or, oh, I'm not sure how to do that. And then if you know how to do it, you can now show them a step-by-step process. So you're teaching them something that they didn't know before. So you add more value to people's lives. That's what we see when we provide value. Because if people like what you have to say, they go, you know what, John, yeah, I saw that video and it makes sense. Then you get a follow. So that's why you want to create and provide a lot of value. And that's why also interacting with your community is so important in creating those genuine connections. So for me, people say, John, all those comments in your post, you comment on the post. I do actually. I go to a lot of the comments on my post and I actually reply myself. Now, sometimes if I'm doing more of an automated post, I won't do that because it's all I want for, if this makes sense, type in yes. So they type in yes, all the yeses come in, and then that will get an auto reply. But if someone's left a message and it's like a paragraph, you want to go in there and you want to interact with your community. You want to say to them, okay, based on what you've written, I want to reply with something meaningful and also try and ask a question. Someone says, John, I really love your content and, it really made sense to me. And what you said, I'm going to start implementing. And then I might reply, thanks for watching the content. What is the one thing that you're going to reply? I would love to know. So you're asking a question. Why ask a question? So you force interaction and you keep having this conversation going back and forward. So think of it as you post something, but in your comments, you also have interaction. Right? And it's almost like a forum. That's why genuine connection, and people go, well, actually, that person really listened to my comment and replied to my comment. Is this really you, John? Actually, someone said that to me once. In your comments now, in a lot of the social media platforms, you can reply with a video. So sometimes I'll open the video and say, yep, that's me replying. So it gives that, oh, wow, John just recorded a video for me. So when you create a community, where do you want to create the community? So this is where we come to what we call cross-platform pollination, right? We want to leverage the concept of omnipresence. Why? Because some people are on Facebook, some people are on Instagram, some people are on Instagram, some people are on YouTube, some people are not on YouTube, they're on X, or they're on Clubhouse, or they're on Snapchat. You see, people are everywhere. And the reason why you want to be everywhere is because you don't want people to miss that message. So sometimes I'll take a message and I'll post it on all the platforms, the same post. Sometimes if it's a little bit tailored, like for example, LinkedIn is more business. So I might tailor that message and recreate the content and make it more business focused. Actually, you should create content for every single piece of content native to its platform. So TikTok, short form content, YouTube, long form content. But I realize that a lot of you don't have the time to do that all the time. So at least taking one post and posting on all the platforms is better than not posting at all. At least you've got something there. So when you're doing cross-pollination, when you're creating this omnipresence, you create it where people actually don't miss what you say and they see it more than one time. How many times have people going to be told more than one time to actually have that sink in? So they see it on one platform, maybe they don't use it, and then on another day it shows up on another platform, they see it on day two. And so that's why you get this cross-pollination. And if you really want to grow a community and following, this is one of the best ways to do it. So the next thing I want to talk about is creating credibility and what are the core values. So when you're posting things on social media, it has to kind of be your personality. So for example, you heard of this concept of authenticity or vulnerability. Sometimes people make posts and they always tell something that's happened in their life. Maybe they're going through a relationship problem, maybe they're going through a challenge, but they put it online. What happens is when people watch it, they go, I can relate to that. Or they go, wow, I know someone, or I've been in that position before, or they know somebody else who's been in that position. So you don't always have to know what content to create. Sometimes you just go on and say, look, I'm having a hard time. I need help with this. I remember one time I kept getting this thing called gout, and it's very painful. And I had to walk around on crutches. And I remember making a post on social media and say, look, I really need your help. If any of you on here know how to get rid of gout, please let me know. That one had one of the highest engagements and the highest comments and the highest likes because people, oh my God, John, I get that as well. And oh my God, you should try not eating this type of food and not drinking this type of drink. And so it created a lot of community. People came in and they gave their 2 cents. So when you talk about something that is very close to your heart, maybe it's a charity that you support and you go and talk about that, or maybe it's a cause you're trying to fund. Like that's why a lot of social media, they have a lot of embedded GoFundMe campaigns. So if you're using this and you're supporting a charity or that's your authenticity coming out, talking about the things that you stand for and things that you like and maybe good or bad. But sometimes you want to talk about, I talk about the story of my parents not wanting me to really become an entrepreneur. And when I started talking about that stuff on social media, people go, oh my God, John, my parents are the same. I'm from Asian background as well. So authenticity plays a big key. And when we mean authentic, how you are on social media, how you are on stage, how you are on a podcast, how you are face to face needs to be consistent. The next thing I want to talk about is inspiration. If you want to create credibility, you want to inspire people. So what do you inspire people with? So with wisdom, right? So there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is everywhere. People say, what's the difference? Right? Okay, let me give you the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing to not put the tomato in a fruit salad. That's the difference. Right? Knowledge and wisdom. So when I am online and I make posts, I want to talk about all the wisdom, all the things, all the trials and tribulations that I faced. Hey, I tried doing this didn't work, try this. And what happens with wisdom is when people implement it, they get results, they feel inspired. They go, wow, that stuff really worked. You know what? They come back, they follow you. Or even better, they go, I tried this thing that John Lee said. Oh my God, like John Lee taught me how to negotiate 30% off the price of a property. It's worth $1 million. I'm buying it for 700,000. I just made 300,000. They tell a friend about it. That's wisdom. Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So when I'm putting inspirational things online, I'm telling people exactly how to do it. Do this, try this, think about that. And that brings me to the next point, which is educational. So educational things is the things that I learn and the things that I simplify and then I teach. For example, a lot of people don't know much about the Web3 blockchain AI when it first came out, right? And then when I started talking about it, people are like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, wow, is that how it works? So when you're educational, you're teaching the latest content. That's why the great thing about being on social and being a 7-figure creator, you are always growing and you are always learning new things and you're taking in new knowledge and you're taking in new wisdom. That's the great thing about it. So you have to stay on top of what you're talking about. Otherwise, you get left behind. So it inherently gives you this self-development and it's almost forced, but that's why you're going to enjoy doing it. You must love to learn. And that's why when you are teaching things, you want to simplify. And what I love to do is teach things in 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Right? Why? Because human beings, we always remember things in 3s, right? The 3-3-3 strategy. Teach the strategy, right? So I would do 3 points. Within those 3 points, have another 3 points. Within those 3 points, have action steps. In fact, isn't that how this program is created? It's kind of got that feel of, again, bite-sized chunks. When you chunk things down, when you're educating, when you're teaching, people understand it better. And The next part is if you're funny, if you're entertaining, you can also create some content there, like you tell stories. So I always tell a story of when I fly to places, and all you want to do, and this is a big strategy, write down a storybook. Everywhere you travel, there's always things that happen that are funny, that are just crazy. And when you think about it, it makes you laugh. So anytime I'm doing social media and I find a story, I go, you know what, that story would be good for this, or that story would be good for this. Entertaining, you want to make it fun as well. Because here's the thing, when people are having fun, time is shortened, it's distorted, right? When people are not having fun, time feels like it's been stretched out. And that's how you know when you're having fun. When you do something, does time go fast or does time go slow? If it goes slow, you're not having fun. If it goes fast, you're having a lot of fun. And you go, is it that time already? So these are some of the ways that you can really start to inject credibility. And if you combine that with what I've talked about, you create those core values of what you stand for. So for me, what I stand for and all the things I've talked about, whether it's authentic, whether it's inspirational, whether it's educational, entertaining, the underlying message is that you are in charge of your life and you can create your own freedom. It's all down to you. It's that time again, action time. Look, well done for getting this far. I'm really we're getting closer to the end and you're going to be getting closer to the 7-figure creator. So what I'd like to do in this session is I want you to figure out what is your main message. I mean, we did talk about that early in the sessions, but get real clarity in that. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And then once you've understood that, then I want you to start thinking about how you're going to start engaging with your community. Are you going to do lives? Are you going to make posts? Are you going to start engaging as forums within the comments? Decide which one you're going to do and what that message is connected together, because in the next session, we're going to be talking about how do we monetize. And this one I'm super excited about because it's about making money to get you closer to becoming a 7-figure creator. I'll see you there.